Row 12, Terry Labonte and Sterling Marlin. Row 13, Hutch Strickland and Bill Elliott making his 400th start. In row 14, Phil Parsons and Kenny Wallace. Look at this battle between the 22, fighting his own way, and the leading rookie, Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon on the inside, number 24, picks up a spot. Give him 9th and move Bobby Labonte back to 10th on the score sheet. As you see, we're under caution again. We're completing lap 63. But back on lap 60, the two-time National Modified champion, Jimmy Spencer out of Berwick, Pennsylvania, climbing out of his car and not happy as he gets out. He's okay. I think they dragged him out. He didn't like to be dragged. Anyway, he's away from the car. Let's take a look at what happened.
Now, let's take a look at some other situations. What's going to happen with the Rick Hendrick team? Well, we know that Terry Labonte is moving with the Kellogg sponsorship into car number 5. Ricky Rudd takes his Tide sponsorship and forms a new team. We don't know the car number or much really about that situation yet.
No, but it's all settled. They have the sponsorship. They're not too concerned. Once you have the money, you can race. Talked with Rick Hendricks earlier today. All his teams are firm. He has 3 teams. Everything. Has Jeff Gordon, the 7-year contract. Boy, is that a hot deal. He's done a great job. Schrader's home free. We're in good shape. Rick Hendricks is
Terry
home free.
Labonte in the number 5 car.
A dumb mistake by the driver, you know, but I tell you something, the Meineke car's running real well, you know, up in the top 10. Really thought I had something for him tonight, but not sitting in here.
Don't you love a driver that'll say it's a dumb mistake by the driver? I'd love to have this guy drive. You good guy. You good guy. I love
Hey, John Hayes, ask him what happened when he got out of the car. He didn't look too happy.
What happened when you got out of the car? You didn't look too happy.
Well, you know, I was all right. I'm not hurt or anything, and you know, the excellent job that the medical workers do. They grabbed a hold of me, and I wasn't expecting it, and I fell back. They pulled me back, and I wasn't ready to come back, and I fell out of the car. I didn't get hurt. I didn't bump my head. I never lost consciousness or anything, you know. Those cement walls are hard, but I got a hard head, too.
Yeah, he's such a dainty, pretty little thing. I'd hate to try to lift him out of a car.
Thanks, guys.
Back to y'all.
Has left them trying to gather back that finesse they usually have when the race starts. There goes Terry Labonte onto the bottom in car number 14 and makes a good move on 22-year-old Jeff Gordon out of Pittsburgh, Indiana, the leading rookie on the Winston Cup Tour.
There's Gordon working that outside lane, really good. Ooh, the 5 car got running back to 14 just a little bit. They capped a little bit in the middle of that corner. Ooh, we see the 14 wiggling right there. A little bit of contact.
Bill Elliott getting around Kyle Petty. Elliott is now in the 2nd spot.
He got up on him coming off the 4th turn and just jumped out in front of him. Elliott, we said earlier in the show, Elliott needed to run good. They've been off the pace. Maybe this is the night.
So, at lap 160, Bill Elliott. Looks like the Elliott of old back in the mid-80s as he closes on Mark Martin.
Wait for Darrell's arrival. Of course, this is one of the teams that has practiced their pit stops over the air. He's just ahead of Jeff Gordon on pit road. They're going to the right side. Gordon pulls away.
Look at this fight. 2nd spot. Here you see that 11 with Bill Elliott, and right with him comes Martin again in the struggle for 2nd position. You're riding with Mark Martin as he tries to take a spot away from Bill Elliott, a 39-time Winston Cup winner. But here's the struggle, and it's for the lead. Bill Elliott, who has not tasted a victory since that last race of '92, working on the back end. And now all of a sudden, Jeff Gordon slows down dramatically. Gordon coming down in 5th spot. Drops all the way back through traffic onto the rear. Something to miss there.
I think what happened, Kenny, just got shoved outside, slid out to the outside wall.
So the battle continues up in front. 361 complete. We'll be back with more of it in a moment between Wallace and Elliott for the moment at Richmond.
Well, the deal deal was, right before what you're looking at here, he got a little into, I think it was Brett Benign, so he got a little popped, and it was the same thing with Jeff Gordon. You got to remember, we're 30 laps from the finish of this race, and these guys are going at it. That's all there is to it. So they got together a little bit. Darrell shot up the track.
They're calling the safety equipment back in, marking back in position. So as soon as this 39 car gets around, they'll go green. There's one to go this time. When we start talking about driver change and the things happen internally in this garage area, just think back. You're looking at Jeff Gordon's car right now. He was being brought along by Ford Motor Company to drive a Winston Cup car. Guess what? He went to Chevrolet. Ford was really upset. Now you're looking at the Chevrolet that Ernie Irvin just got through driving. He went over to Ford. Is that a payoff? Who knows? But let me tell you what, we're always talking about the Winston Championship. Not only the Drivers' Championship, but the Manufacturers' Championship. Ford, Chevrolet, they fight every week on the racetrack, and now they're fighting off the racetrack to who drives which race car. I've never seen them so involved as they are right now as to which driver goes into which car. They're getting very protective about losing their drivers, and they're getting very aggressive about picking up new drivers. Very tough on the drivers to decide which way to go, but they're getting some help from the manufacturers. Let's go over to Buddy Baker and see what's happening to the driver's points.
You know, guys, everybody's concerned with who's going to be number one, number two in the points. But there's a race going on back in there from fourth place. $170,000. That's a lot of money. It drops. When you get to 14th spot in the points, you drop to $40,000. The difference of $130,000. Had years I didn't make that much. This is for the points, not counting what you're doing now. These guys are going to go after it the last part. There'll be no pulling over or anything else. It's going to be hard racing, and everybody wants to move up in the points.
Let's go back down to the starting grid. Here's Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Mike, we're standing by the DuPont Chevrolet driven by rookie phenom Jeff Gordon. And, you know, it's not unusual for a young kid to take a fast car out on a ride for a Sunday afternoon. This guy does it regularly, and he does it well. You've been running awfully well lately, Jeff. I know you got to be looking for that first win. Could it come today?
Well, I hope so. We got a lot of folks from DuPont up here, and the car is just driving beautiful. It's probably one of the best cars I've had. This crew is doing a good job, so we're just going to see how it goes. I think today might be the day.
Okay, best of luck to you. Of course, Jeff, along with everybody else here today, was led to the checkered flag at last week's race by the same man who will lead them to the green flag today as Mike Jones.
Slid up about a half a lane. Gordon drove right down in there beside him. Fantastic.
From Jeff Gordon's car, you see him complete the pass and move. From our Ray Bestis aerial chopper, Ray Bestis, best in brakes, bringing you these.
We have a spin in turn one.
Phil Parsons. Manheim Auto Auctions Chevrolet up into the wall. Phil had a great run here in yesterday's Busch Grand National race. Rusty will handily lead the pack back to the flag as Parsons sits against the wall at turn 2.
Trying to get it moving, but it's not any use right now. That thing's got the radiator and oil cooler all knocked off along with the right front wheel.
Well, we ran 2 laps of caution, and then we ran of green, and then 6 laps of green. And so it was they had that natural relationship going. So when Ernie Irvin left, here was the driver that they had worked with, and so he and James got together. James Finch is going to run the.
Gordon cleaning these tires off for this restart. Get all the junk off of them. It's fixing to take a pretty good run down in turn 1.
Maybe now we can get this race started. Lap 20 coming up here.
You notice he's got his hand on the shifting lever. There's 2 reasons for that. He's, of course, going to change the gear right away, but you want to make sure it's going to jump out of gear when you accelerate. You see Jeff Gordon's running this car back down of Rusty's. I tell you, he's strong. He says he's just riding, but he's doing a pretty good job of riding, don't you think, Jim?
Yeah, he's just riding at a high rate of speed. You know, anytime you say I'm just going to take it easy, but if you get the least little bit of sniff that guy in front of you is falling off the pace or something, it's just as well to ride out front if you can do that.
Boy, Jeff Gordon's trying every straightaway to get by Rusty. I believe he's got a little advantage in the center of the corner. His car seems to turn a little bit better than Rusty right at this point in the race, and he's trying every way in the world to get by.
But he's just riding. I know.
Yeah, right.
It's just racing. That's what it's named. The game is racing.
Very little riding goes on. And the heat's coming back.
Yeah.
You look at Jeff Gordon, though, he's running back down. That car is sailing. For a guy that's just riding, he's doing a pretty hard job of riding.
We are looking at the back of Jeff Gordon's car. After Earnhardt got around him, it looks like he's trying to catch Gordon. Gordon's car had a lot of speed early in the race.
You know, the trunk plate of that car is the only piece on it that's painted all one color.
Yeah, the guy paints that car earns his money.
Yes. And often.
And often.
What people don't realize, they'll run one of these races. If you get out of this race without a scratch, they still have to take them back and virtually totally redo the cars, paint them and everything, because they got to look like a showpiece at every race.
That's right. Here's Glenn.
Well, Mike, we're down in the garage area. They're working on Todd Bodin's car, trying to get it ready to get it back out there. Todd, what happened? You think you ran over something?
Yeah, I definitely could run over something, cut the tire down. The car was a little tight, but not bad, and I was babying the right front anyway, and just run over something and went up in the wall. I got to slow it down pretty good, so it's not too bad, but we're not going to make it back out.
But you're okay. You had a really good day yesterday. Kind of tough to think having this happen so early.
Well, you know, it's kind of like a deal like Bristol. We won in Bristol, and the next day we didn't even make the race, so, you know, that's racing. It's ups and downs, and you got to take everything in between.
Okay, we had a lead change. Let's go back upstairs to Mike.
That young fella could turn out to be the best of the Bodine brothers.
Well, I tell you what, he's got a lot of talent. He really does.
Well, they're going to probably run their car as good as it feels when it's stuck totally and not slip the tire. You see him waving his hand right there. Clear the lap car. Coming around the 21 car, you think he can let him by without holding him up like.
How hard can you run it for how long? We'll find out here at Dover Downs. 109 laps complete. Here's the top 5 back through Jeff Bodine. The rest of your top 10 will be back to Dover after this.
Sure enough, he got in the wall, and I said, I got a good pace. Boom! Into the wall I went, so I didn't get. Now watch him get busy right here.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? Cale Yarborough would go off in the corner, and he would just, his hand, the wheel would never be still. He'd always be working it somewhere.
I was just fixing to say, ain't nobody ever whipped a wheel like he did. Boy, did you hear how nice and easy he got back on the throttle when he got the corner there? Smooth. That's something that's hard to teach. A lot of people just want to just jump right back in it. That really abuses the tire when you slam it back to the floor. Yeah, just a few seconds ago they overlapped Bill Elliott. So he's a lap down now.
22nd place car of Derek Cope. Here goes Gordon. He's got the opening. He's got the lead.
Did you see Rusty just back off and let him go?
Yeah, use that lap traffic. Rusty was going to go around the lap traffic. Gordon followed it, and once Rusty saw him there, he opened the door and let him on through.
11th race that the rookie has led this year.
He said top of the show that this might be his day. He said, show me in the garage, it's the best car he's had all year long.
Pit clock is in for Jeff Gordon, Ray Evernham, and Rick Hendrick team. Going to put 4 tires on and around in the right rear.
Hey, that might have been going his way. If he needed bike, he had a loose condition. So that's one reason what hurt his tires so much in running cars.
Ah, what a good stop, too. Out first.
17.7 seconds and first out. 1 to go, and we'll go racing here. One viewer called and asked us to update Stanley Smith, the Alabama driver who crashed hard at Talladega, went to the hospital, was temporarily paralyzed, but now he is recuperating. He's in the same facility in Birmingham that did such a great job for Bobby Allison. There is no more paralysis, but he's going to be undergoing therapy for quite some time. And according to a story in one of the racing papers this week, hopes to return to the sport as a car owner and will continue to be involved.
Boy, that's good news. I tell you what, he's a fine guy.
Chase Elliott, his whole family was involved with his racing team, and it's great to see him be able to get over this injury. For a while there, it really looked bad.
You know, Mike, I noticed that Jeff's got a little ding on the left front corner of that car, and it's right where the oil cooler hole is. So, but it don't look like there's any obstruction to the air to keep it from going through there.
Looks like he shoved a tire out of the way or something on that air dam. It's hard to tell the way it's bent.
producer will take off and leave you when you have fresh tires on.
There we go.
He goes.
You know, just like he called it. You know, he said it won't go on the starts, but it's good after a run few laps.
Boy, look at this crowd. Do you think he don't have some fans already?
Got a pretty good feel for what his car does. You got to have a feel for chassis. He's got a pretty good feel for what his car's capable of doing. He called this pretty well, exactly the way it played out.
And he took off.
Yeah.
He didn't just take the lead, he took off.
There's the old Tomahawk.
Yeah, every time he takes the lead, the Tomahawk comes out. They got her in the air now. And he's got it in the wind.
We joked at the Daytona 500, they put that up there because in case he goofs up, they can drop it on his head when he comes in the pits and wake him up. But
you know what's
that's
phenomenal?
not the case.
You know what's phenomenal about this crew? I think the oldest guy there is about 25 or 26 years old. They're a very young team, and they've got the world by the string right now.
No wonder they're playing with Tommy Hawk, a bunch of kids. Doing a man-sized job, I tell you that. They ran good all year long.
We just blew a light on tire, but the boys are telling me
Jeff his crew had to make a chassis adjustment. They put around the bike in the right rear. His car was getting a little loose. Same thing with Bobby Labonte. His was so loose, he got into the wall earlier on. No real damage, but Gordon's still looking strong.
In the pace car.
Well, they give him money for the most, lead most laps if he does.
What if we get the 5 points?
He'll get the 5 points for sure.
See that little bit of damage to that 24 car, like you're talking about, Buddy, where he like he hit a tire or something going out. That hurt it a bit.
Let's stay with Jeff Gordon and listen to this restart. Boy, he drives in there hard before he puts his foot off that gas.
Well, guys, I'm standing by with what might be one of the smartest businessmen in America. This is Rick Hendrick, the owner of Jeff Gordon's car, the guy who signed that young phenomenal away from Ford Motor Company, and obviously no regrets at all.
Oh, no, it's we've been real proud of what these guys have been able to do this year, and the whole team, you know, they've worked together, and, you know, Jeff's done a heck of a job. He's going to have a real bright future, and we're real excited about having him.
Well, you've been in racing a long time. I've owned a lot of teams, but did you in your wildest dreams imagine this team being so young, Jeff being a rookie, would come together and do so well so fast?
Well, no, you know, you hope that that'll happen, but realistically, you don't come into this sport and do this well as quick. And these guys have worked hard with the other 3 teams, and they work together, and, you know, Ray Abraham's just done an unbelievable job, and Jeff, and they worked together before, and, you know, the guys just got a lot of talent, and these guys have rallied around them, and, you know, we're looking forward to a good finish here and a lot of years to come.
Well, he's certainly showing that talent today, Mike.
Boy, look at you talk about getting in the corner. Jeff Gordon is flying down in the corner now. You know, I've never been to Salem, but Jeff Gordon was a tremendous talent on that racetrack, and I think it simulates pretty much Salem and this racetrack as far as the high banks and all. He won a lot of sprint car races and stuff there.
Each car owner makes a decision what type of car to run. Chevrolet going for Pontiac here. Put Gordon out front. Flash Gordon goes back up front.
Yeah, but just before that happened, I could see the hand signals inside Rusty's car. He just motioned him by. I don't know what the deal was. Before the pass, all of a sudden,
there's the Tomahawk.
Yeah, back up again.
Pit stops of the race leader. The 3 Rick Hendrick cars come into the pits in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd position. And on the right side, you'll see them move down the pit lane after their service is completed. Ricky Rudd's pit is furthest up pit road toward the entrance, so he gets stopped first, then Schrader, then Gordon. Champion picks his pit first, and then you pick in order the way you qualify. That's why they're in the positions they're in. Wipe of the windshield on Rudd, finishing up the left side. Now he gets out in 23 seconds, but he's got a long way to come down pit road.
Looks like you're having trouble on Jeff Gordon's left rear there.
And he gets out just behind Dale Jarrett there. Jeff Gordon in the DuPont finishes Chevrolet of Rick Hendrick, Ray Evernham, the crew chief, and the rookie driver, trying to become the first rookie in 6 years to win a Winston Cup race. Jeff, this is TNN. It looks like these last 100 laps have been a pretty good, clean run for you.
Yeah, you know, things are going our way right now. We're just going to keep our fingers crossed and, you know, hope that the rest of the race goes this way. The biggest thing for us this whole year has been making it to the halfway point, and we've made it that far. So, the car is good. I tell you, this DuPont crew is doing an awesome job in the pits. I'm real happy about the way things are going.
Jeff, what did you think when Rusty Wallace waved you to the inside and waved you by? Do you think maybe he had a problem, or do you think he was just letting you go?
Oh, you know, we talked, our spotters talked there at that last yellow, and we both agreed that if we could try to pull away from Earnhardt, if we got out in the open and I was faster than him, that he would work with me or I'd work with him. And, you know, I was putting the pressure to him, and I was trying to get by me. He just let me go. That's what real racing is all about. You know, you got to wait till the last 50 laps or 100 laps before you really go for it.
Okay, thanks and good luck.
He's got to be really patient not to make a mistake coming up through this traffic. That's so easy to do when you have a dominant car to make a mental error, you know.
And here's where you see this young fella's experience. Jeff Gordon. He's going to make the moves where he can. He gets underneath Terry Labonte. Even though he's a rookie on this circuit, you're right, buddy. If he takes his time, he's not going to bust his way to the front.
Right. My car just as smooth. Look at the back of that car. It never wiggles. It's just as straight as an arrow off the corner. Look at Jeff Gordon come up through there. He's running that pack down now. He's fixing to get in the battle for it. Well, that'll go all the way to second when he passes that group there.
One of the big battles in NASCAR racing is for the Manufacturers Championship. Very coveted title. And we asked Lee Morris at Ford Motorsport how he feels about Ford's chances of winning that title in 1993.
We had it once, had it last year for the first time, and it was really sweet and great. I'd like to experience it at least a second time. So hopefully we can, you know, we're getting close. Mid-season, it didn't look like there was much chance, but after the last 4 or 5 weeks, who knows?
To the back straightaway. Depends on where it is and what the type of debris it is. If an NASCAR official in that backstretch observation post feels it's something that would cut down a tire, he'll call for a caution flag. But if not, they might just leave it there.
Yeah, we just had a call back that the 24 car did run over it. We're not sure what it was.
Well, he's back up to speed again. I guess he had to convince himself he didn't hurt the car by running over it.
We'll take a look, see if we can tell what it is. I believe that's a piece of that ductwork, that plastic hose.
There's a wire off of it. What it is the blower that goes to the brake.
Yeah, brake duct.
Brake duct.
All right, Rubble, it's Jeff Bodine.
Coming off turn 2. Oh, man, he hit it a ton.
Now the race back to the caution flag.
This is where Rusty Wallace will get a lap back.
Yep.
Yeah, Rusty Wallace was in front. Got that lap back.
Well, Jeff Bodine, the driver, have to go back and explain to Jeff Bodine, the car owner, what happened. Tough break in his first drive in the AK Racing Kowicki team Thunderbird. Report is that he and Jeff Gordon may have gotten together.
Yeah, look at the front end damage on Jeff Gordon. He had some damage prior to this, but nothing like what we see right now. Look at the right front.
Look at that right front. That'll hurt him when they get back under green too.
Man, what a, the car runs so strong too.
Caution is the 12th of the day.
Let's see if we can tell what happened. Here's Gordon on the bottom of the racetrack. There's Bodine right up in front of him.
Okay, he's trying to go under him there.
Trying to get up under him off this corner.
Looks like it just touched right there.
Oh, man. Then he climbed up.
Where he done the damage was he hit the left front.
Gordon went up a little, Bodine came down a little, and they got together.
Look at Earnhardt. You talk about somebody lucky.
Richard Petty used to say, I'd rather be lucky than good, but you got to be pretty good to be that lucky.
Yeah, that's it.
There goes Earnhardt scooting by.
Well, Jeff Bodine was having a good run in his own car. Here we go, coming off the corner. They've already got together back in the middle of one and two.
Boy, he hit hard. You see the car lift off the ground there?
Look, there's a bunch of the lead cars. There's Ricky Rudd coming by.
All right, we're going to show you what Jeff Gordon saw from the in-car in real time. In other words, at speed as it happened.
He's under him. They did make contact there. Wow.
Bodine was 1 lap down.
See Jeff coming in.
Running in 12th position.
A lot of damage.
We'll be right back to Dover Downs and give you another look at, see if you can figure out the photo error in our Polaroid Captiva photo fake-out game and see if you might win that trip for 2 or the grand prize, a trip to the Daytona 500 and $1,000. Stay tuned. After the accident with Jeff Bodine, you see Jeff Gordon's car, and there's the Bodine Family Channel Ford being hauled back to the garage area. Now the damage to the right front on Jeff Gordon's car, they have taped it up. There you see it there. What's it going to do to that car when we get back to speed?
Well, what it's going to do, the air is going to go up under all that raggedy edge there on the front, and it's going to try to lift when you turn in to go in the corner, and it's going to really make it push bad.
He is still on the lead lap. Let's go to Randy.
Well, they're waiting for his arrival right now. They've already pitted once. They changed the right side tires. They wanted to keep him on the lead lap if possible. Of course, beyond the cosmetic damage that you see at the front of the car that's going to cause an aerodynamic problem, they're talking about a toe-in problem. And the way these tires have to be absolutely perfect today, you definitely don't want that toe-in running inside and out. So now they're going to say go ahead and stay out. So they come back in the second time. They change the left side tires. They strung the, they put a string from the rear tires to the front. They've checked the toe-in. There is a little bit of a toe-in problem. And they're also saying it could be a bent tie rod. And they would have trouble replacing that. So right now they're going to stay out. But Ray Abraham is still checking with NASCAR to see how long this caution is. They may bring him back in.
Randy, I think that Ray is being informed by the NASCAR official that their team is being assessed a 5-lap penalty for the collision with Jeff Bodine. We'll follow up on that here in a moment. But Jeff Gordon and Jeff Bodine getting together there.
You know, that's a real shame. I hate that Jeff got in a wreck, but you could see that he couldn't, the visibility coming out of that corner and the windshield and all, he couldn't really see all that well. And you know, I just don't know about the call.
When you exit turn 2 here at this time of day in that banking, you are facing straight into the sun where those two cars got together. You'll see Gordon come down to pit road.
Well, this is the area we're looking at right now, Mike. Yep. You know, coming up off of here, sun right in your eyes. You know, you're driving along with, you know, if you got an inch of room before you, it's okay. And that's about what it takes. And if you slip a little bit, you get into someone. So they're going to bring him in. They're going to set him down for 5 laps.
Well, that's with a clean windshield, but that was after a long run there, and the windshield was dirty and everything, and that really messes up the visibility.
Well, if we're still caution when we come back, maybe we'll get a chance to see it again. 364 laps are complete here at Dover. And Jeff Gordon trying to become the first rookie to win a race since Davey Allison did it in his rookie season. Has his number up on the black flag board. Here he comes to pit road. And the DuPont Chevrolet obeying the pit road speed limit and idling along toward Ray Abraham and the NASCAR official in his pit stop.
Well, you think that speed limit feels slow pit road, wouldn't you just have to sit there? They better take the hatchet away from them. They might use it on somebody else.
Here's Glenn.
Jeff Bodine has walked out of the infield care center. First of all, obviously you're okay, but we understand Jeff's been given a 5-lap penalty for that. Your comments?
Of course, I need to say hi to Kathy. Matt Barry, I'm okay, guys. Got a good car. It held up, the seat held up. I learned from my brother the other day. I put another headrest in and didn't have any problems. So I was trying to make a lap up. You know, we had a flat tire, a lot of tire problems today. This baby's fast out here. The tires are tearing up a little bit. And I was just trying to make my lap up, but I could see I wasn't going to do it. SCHRADER was pretty quick, but I wanted to ride there just in case something happened. And Jeff came up behind me, and he was a little quicker, so I kind of slid up here to let him go by. And, you know, it's really tough off this corner. So rough and bumpy. You know, he probably got in the throttle, and the thing chattered out. And, you know, he ran into me, obviously, and spun me around, hit the wall. It's really a shame. The car was running good. We appreciate the Family Channel sponsoring us. They're going to be on the car some more this year. Still looking for that big sponsorship for next year, though, guys. So.
Do you feel like that penalty's justified?
Well, you know, I didn't see it. NASCAR saw it. They're watching the whole thing. They usually do the right thing. So if they feel he deserved it, I guess he did. But, you know, like I say, it's just a tough place to pass. Probably got in the gas, it chattered up, and he hit me.
Okay, we just understand that NASCAR has reversed the penalty now, so we'll go back upstairs, let them straighten it out.
Yeah, Glenn, let's explain that NASCAR did call for a 5-lap penalty. Ray Evernham talked to his driver, talked to the NASCAR official on pit road, appealed the penalty, gave their version of what had happened, and NASCAR gave them the benefit of the doubt that there was contact between the two cars, but that it was not intentional. So the black flag stands. Gordon goes to the tail end of the field for the restart, but he is not penalized laps. That is the situation right now. And we'll be back to Dover Down. 366 laps complete. We'll be back after this.
Oh, me.
Trouble on the restart. They just waved the green flag. Earnhardt, Rudd, and Hunt Strickland and Jeff Gordon are all in it. They had just waved the flag for the replay. Rick Matt's car is a mess. He and Jeff Gordon tangled at the back trying to avoid the melee at the front. Look at Ricky Rudd's tide ride.
There's Earnhardt crushed in the front and the back. Here comes SCHRADER back around the start-finish line.
You know, I still think the pace car's got a good shot at it.
Gordon trying to get it cranked up.
Dale Earnhardt's crew come over to check their driver. And Ricky Rudd, who had what could have been a winning car today, comes onto pit road. Man, Jeff Gordon's car, well, never mind that little dent in the right front corner.
Yeah, just as we came back, they dropped the green flag, and boy, it all happened at one time there.
Let's show you what happened here as Rudd comes to the pit lane. Looks like he may get back in this race.
Okay, looks like Rusty turns the 27 car into the 3 car, and Ricky was on the outside there. He run in the back of Earnhardt when they made contact.
Well, Morgan Shepherd got a slap there and got through it. So did Jimmy Spencer, Dale Jarrett. Here's another angle from up on high.
Yeah, this is after they're already going.
And there in the back, Jeff Gordon and Rick Mast got together.
Yeah, well, that's just chain reaction.
Yep. Is this Jeff Gordon?
This is Gordon. This is just the end of the wreck here. Oh, he got hit in the back. Then he hit the outside wall.
Ooh. And the inside wall.
Yeah, you might as well be in a bowling alley when you come off that banking up there and it runs straight away. You're going to hit the outside and the inside.
As Neil asked, let's show you the first replay once again. And Jeff Gordon's DuPont Chevrolet, another potential winning car today. Show you another look at the Jeff Gordon, Jeff Bodine incident. As we saw it, and as NASCAR also saw it, their review of the incident was part of this. But first, the issue of the sun, Neil.
Mike, they're coming off this corner, and you're playing with about an inch or two clearance right there. Look right here where the accident occurred. Look, the sun, that's the worst place you can be on this racetrack. Right in his eyes, you can't see. Like Buddy said, the windshield wasn't clean. They got together. After reviewing this, NASCAR saw this particular tape, they decided it wasn't intentional reason to change.
Now, watch Bodine's car and the white line. That distance gets a little smaller. He does come down a little bit as Gordon goes up. NASCAR's review of this on the appeal from Ray Evernham, they decided it was a racing accident. The black flag stopped to bring Gordon in, just cool him down. That put him to the back of the field, and he wound up in this accident. Here's Glenn.
We're standing by with Jeff Gordon. He has crawled out of the car. He's talking to radio right now. We'll get a word with him here in just a moment.
I'm sorry.
Okay, Jeff, can you tell us what happened out there?
Well, you know, I just kind of got caught up in another wreck there. All I saw was the 27 car get sideways and start slipping, and whoever's behind me didn't really check up as much as I did and turned me sideways. It's a shame, man. We just had a great car today, and I just thought really today was going to be our day. Everything was going our way, and then things totally turned around.
What about when you and Jeff Bodine got together? It looked like maybe from the in-car camera, you just couldn't see him there.
Well, there is a pretty strong glare over there, but he got in the corner and he got loose. He drifted up. So he's a lap car, and I'm trying to get back up the leaders. Rusty was trying to get his lap back. I want to make sure Rusty didn't get his lap back. And You know, I probably was a little bit impatient, but I mean, he drifted up. I tried to go underneath him, and we hit. He spun. You know, I didn't want to wreck anybody, but I was just trying to get to the front.
Okay, tough luck, Jeff. Randy?
Ricky Rudd standing here. Ricky, any comment on that?
Well, they got the Goodies Headache Award. They ought to have the Rubber Head of the Race Award, and I give it to Rusty Wallace. That's my vote. I don't know about the rest of these guys that sitting here tore up in the garage, but that was just a dumb, stupid move. I mean, you know, I don't know where he was going. You know, you just got to wait your time. The track's greasy. Everybody pretty much was biding their time, and that dumb SOB comes up through there like an idiot and caused the chain reaction.
Ricky, one of your best race cars this year you had, too. Nice and smooth ride you were having.
Well, I just hate to see it get wasted. You know, a lot of guys work awful hard at that.
Left side of the car of Rick Mascar is now well up in the air. They continue to service him. He may lose a lap here. Yep, they've got a little more work to do on Rick's car. He was part of the back end of that wreck with Jeff Gordon.
The air cleaner. In turn, the air cleaner doesn't clear the throttle linkage but about a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch, because then we'll get full maximum distance between the air cleaner and all. So that little bit of damage to that hood might have that air cleaner shoved down against that throttle linkage.
Good point, Neil.
You see SCHRADER got by Spencer there, and he's moving up on the back of the 55 car, rather.
And Jeff Gordon is back in the race. He is 9th in the Winston Cup point standings and the leading rookie. He's back out to put some laps on the board. 102 laps to go. There's Gordon.
He's got a handful just riding on the apron.
Yeah, that thing looks bad. That's low.
Third gear?
I don't know about third gear, but I know he's got 3 hands full. Yeah, he's coming in, Mike. You were right. He's gearing it down, heading back in.
Or they bring it out here to pit road, or maybe they'll string it. Doesn't sound good either.
Said the rear end's running around on the back end, which means the rear track bar is broken loose, and it won't stay centered up. It's floating back and forth, so they'll have to fix that.
So Gordon got back on the racetrack. Ricky Rudd is back in the race. Dale Earnhardt is not.
You know, while we watch the leaders race here, I don't know how Harry Gant's driving that car with the throttle sticking like that, because what happens is one lap it won't stick, and you get a little brave and you'll nail it down, you get ready to back off going in the next corner, and it's like somebody's pushing you when you back off and keep going, and you got to get up there and try to get the switches turned off. It's a handful.
Well, I've ran those things, buddy, before. Just turn the switch off when you get in there. Back on, back off, back on, run several laps, waiting on the caution. I'm telling you, you know yourself, it's not a lot of fun.
Do they run a deal over the throttle pedal where if you lift your foot back, it'll pull that pedal back?
You know, that's a funny thing. Not many of these guys do that, but all, like Jeff Gordon, that's the first thing he puts in one of his race cars. And it comes from the sprint cars, where if one of those ever hang up, you wake up in the next county.
Or up on top of the billboards.
That's right.
Of course, sometimes if the interference is like you said with the air cleaner, you may not be able to pull it back. Some of the pit crew members have early planes to catch. That's the gap in the fence at the start-finish line. There is no access tunnel here at Dover Downs because we're so near the Atlantic Ocean. The water table's pretty high, and it was not practical to dig a tunnel for access to the infield. So they come across the start-finish line. And there is Earnhardt coming to the pits in the point chase. Wallace second in points, Earnhardt the leader. Earnhardt right now is in 27th position in this race. Jeff Gordon's battered car has also come to pit road.
The best thing that could happen to Rusty right now is these two cars start racing side by side. Boy, you talk about losing some time around the racetrack. You lose a ton when you get side by side.
8 laps to go.